Hi, I'm Victoria and this is the Crime Corner, where we unpack real crime stories happening in South Africa. So on the 28th of September 2024, a peaceful family gathering turned into a nightmare in the small Eastern Cape town of Lusikisiki. What followed was one of the deadliest mass shootings in South Africa's recent history. Today we unpack what happened, how the community is coping, and what it means for violence prevention in this country. At around midnight, gunmen stormed two houses of the same street in the Nyati village area of Lusikisiki. They opened fire on people gathered for a family event. 18 people killed and 5 injured. Reports say the victims were fatally shot, many in the head, and no one in these homes survived. Investigators say the motive remains unknown. There are no robbery, no apparent provocation recorded at scene. The scale of the attack turned both the local community and the nation stunned. Lusikisiki is no stranger to violence. It has in recent years been identified among the more crime-affected districts in the Eastern Cape. In the wake of the massacre, grief turned quickly into anger. Families demanded swift arrests and justice. A memorial service held on 6 October drew large crowds, only to be met by fresh gunfire. 6 people were killed, 4 injured in the separate attack of Community Policing Forum members. For many residents, the violence exposed deep frustrations, feelings of vulnerability, of waiting for too long for the law enforcement to respond, and of living in a place where tragedy can strike without warning. Following the shootings, the SAPS launched a major manhunt. Over time, several suspects were arrested, including one Mr. Siposotolo Miekete, charged with 18 counts of murder plus firearm possessions. But even with arrests made, many questions remain. How did the gunmen choose their target? How did they acquire and bring weapons into such a setting? And what about the border networks that may have enabled the massacre? Government officials condemned the attack. The president expressed deep sympathy and pleaded resources. Meanwhile, local policing forums and community organizations have called for more visible policing, better intelligence gathering, and stronger community partnerships to prevent further bloodshed. The Lusikisiki Massacre is tragic, but it also serves as a reminder of border issues in South Africa struggle with violent crime. According to international observers, the country's homicide rate remains among the highest in the world. For the families of the victims in Lusikisiki, justice cannot come soon enough. But for the nation, preventing the next massacre means closing the gaps from now on. Thank you for watching. If you found this video important, please consider liking, subscribing, and turning on notifications for more in-depth crime reports across South Africa.
Households. Out of the 18 people who were murdered, 15 were women. The youngest person was only 13 years old. A witness who was at the Singina homestead gave her version of events.
It
was in the early hours, around 2. We were sleeping. We were going to go to a cleansing ceremony in the morning, Emantlaning. We heard sounds on the door, and after that, we heard gunshots. We managed to hide, and they did not find us. It was only 3 of us that were not found, but all other people were killed.
A mass funeral was held with families still hoping for answers.
We didn't expect this because we thought that our country is free. We thought that we are protected. We never thought of people who can do such a thing. Brutal killing is not accepted in our country. And all those who are lawbreakers, I think they must be punished. They must appear in court.
8 people were initially arrested and linked to the killings, but charges against the 2 men were withdrawn. One of the 2 turned a Section 204 state witness.
By the arrest,
there is a bit of a relief, but also a disappointment in our justice system and how the parole works, because we would have not lost so many lives had this guy, because we were in court and we also heard that he was sentenced for a murder case, of which he was released, I think, in June on parole. Now, if he was still inside, we would not have lost the lives that we've actually lost now. I think there's something wrong with our parole system.
Siziva sixole kakhulu kulento sikwazi ukuzibonela lo mfana.
we are very happy now that this man has been arrested.